Recording in progress.
Okay, I guess good morning, everyone. And I guess we are live today. And my name is Andre. I'm from Indonesia, and I'll be the moderator for today's great event. So our theme will be Market Outlook for second semester from cycle perspective. So I'm very happy to present all of the speakers from Asia. There will be 5 speakers, I guess. There will be Mr. Jonathan, Mr. Juan, Mr. Nicholas, Mr. Daniel, and Mr. Gemma. I will explain one by one when we start. So before that, we would like to introduce our Ifta President, Mr. Willan. So is Mr. Willan here already? Before? I guess.
Yeah, he will give you presentation. He will give you presentation by recording tape.
Okay. So shall we start with the first speaker first, or? And, Sir Willan is not here yet. Pak Indra? Okay, so I guess.
Okay. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening to all the webinar participation for today. I would like to say thank you for Mr. Willan, the president of Ifta, some of the board of director, also the chairman and from the local society, especially from Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and Philippines. Today, my name is Indra Wijayarangkuti. I'm one of the board of directors from Ifta. I would like to say thanks to all the participants again. And today we're gonna have a webinar with titled Second Semester Market Outlook from Cycle Perspective, with purpose to give you information and guidance in the next 6 months for you to taking decision for investment and to give you some knowledge about economy and also to expand your information, your skill, especially in the technical analysis. We're gonna do this webinar more often, so it's gonna be a good benefit for us, especially for our association. And for your information, the technical analysis have an association in every single country from local society. And also we have an international federation. So we have to be proud as a technical analyst because we are around the world. We are like a family in here. And then if you like to know about Ifta, what kind of a certification we have and what kind of a service we have, you can just go into Ifta website, ifta.org, or you can go to your local society. In Indonesia, we have ITI, or Association Analyst Technical Indonesia. Malaysia, they have MATA. Philippines, they have STA, and also from Singapore, they have a TAS, TASS. So I think I'll back to Mr. Andre. I think we have a presentation from Willan to our opening speech. Thank you from me. Enjoy the webinar and have fun. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Pak Indra. As one of our Ifta director, I guess Mr. Willan not yet here, yeah. So I guess without further ado, let me introduce one of the first speaker today, which is from I think from Malaysia, right? Pak Wan Muhammad Hafizuddin. Yeah, let me introduce you for a brief before you present the great seminar today. So our great speaker today is his complete name is One More Hafiz. Am I correct to spell your name, Pak Wan?
My name is Muhammad Hafizuddin.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry to if I mispronounce you. So anyway, Pak Wan is start as a future broker by helping many future traders to become a professional trader by educating the importance of chart knowledge. He's actively involved in the MATA, Malaysia Technical Analysis Association Committee, and he's heavily involved in teaching Elliott wave. So his expertise is Elliott wave. So I can't wait to hear this Elliott wave, because I myself also a big fan of Elliott wave. And okay, I guess without further ado, I will let you and start the great presentation.
Okay. Thank you, our moderator. So I share first my slide. All right. Do you see my slide? Right. Okay. My name is Wan Muhammad Hafizuddin. Bewan Hassan. I represented from Malaysia Association of Technical Analysts. Actually, I start as a futures broker, one of Singapore broker, and then right now at Maybank Investment Bank. Okay, today I would like to share with you some of branch of technical analysis, which is Elliott wave and also cycle. So some of us is fan of Elliott wave. Some of us maybe like more to technician. Okay, so by the way, we love all technical analysis. Okay, so right now actually I like to go slide. Okay, so Elliott wave is founded by Ralph Nelson Elliott, born 1871, and then actually one of important what he discovered is Elliott wave itself. Crowd behavior trend and reverse in recognizable pattern that called waves. This structure is linked together to form large version of the same pattern, and how those in turn become the building block for the pattern of the next largest size, so on. Okay, so the basic of Elliott wave, we have 5 wave, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. And then after wave 5, we have 3 wave correction, which is wave A, wave B, and wave C. Okay, so there are rules in the Elliott wave before you start to doing a forecast. First, we have to know retrace of wave 2 cannot be as below the wave 1. And then second rule, wave 3 cannot be shortest. In between wave 1, wave 3, and wave 5, wave 3 cannot be shortest. And then last we have remember is wave 4 never retrace in wave 1 territory. Okay. Then we go the bigger structure. Okay. Elliott wave is mankind's progress. It's not straight line, random or cyclical. Grow and thereby social system are moving in the pattern consists of 5 wave up and 3 wave down. This pattern reflect the alternation of growth and non-growth or decline. The benefit, the advantages of Elliott wave is you can use predict market direction, identify turning points, and provide guidance for entering and exit position in the market. From there, I would like to take you to cycle. Okay, cycles surround us and influence our daily lives. Many even are cyclical in motion. There is a ebb, the flow of wave, and the inhaling and exhaling of humans. Our daily work schedule is determined by day and night cycle that comes with the rotation of Earth, come with around the its exit. Okay, so every day, because of a cycle, we wake up, we do daily routine, and then we sleep, or we involve in cycle. Okay, and then one of J.M. Hurst is considered to be the father of modern cycle theory, and passed away in 2005. He is a NASA aerospace engineer and spent 9 years studying cycle using frame computers. Maybe this one is suddenly heard about this man, but we have, if you like to involve in cycle, we have to know is 7 principles of commonality. There is 7. We must understand the basic of cycle is cyclical, which is all financial market are composed of cycle, no matter what security, everything in the cycle. Harmonicity, a cycle harmony are related by multiple of 2 and 3. A dominant cycle will produce sub-cycle which are related by small numbers. The presence of related sub-cycle confirms the validity of dominant cycle. And then summation. Price is composed of wave or sum of individual cycles. All amplitude are summed together at the point of the time. All cycles are equally weighted. And then we have to remember synchronize. All cycles synchronize. Cycle low tend to bottom in the tandem. And even of harmony, they will always bottom with the next larger period of cycle. And the fifth, we have to remember, cycle is proportionality. Cycle period is proportional to its amplitude. Longer cycle create the trend for shorter cycle to ride. This fit with the fractal nature of technical analysis. And the sixth, some of a period are more common than others. This can be due many factors like season, why nominal period are interesting to especially if you like to study nominal, most of nominal we can see and we can study how this can be helped in the trading. And the last and not least, a variation. Financial market will not obey theoretical or perfection. If you say 10 years market cycle, it's not exactly 10 years. Okay, there are variation of the cycle. It can be 9 years, can be 11 years. So we call variation. Okay, we expect there will be a variation in transition, harmony, proportionality. Cycle low may come early or late. We call it transition. Right transition are coming later than expected. Then amplitude may be disproportionate to its period. Okay, so once we know the basic of cycle, we can apply in the trading. So it will help you. Let's say Elliott wave analysis. You know market will go up or down, but they will be helped by cycle is when will be bottom, when will be top. So cycle part play around. Okay, before we using cycle, there are steps that we have to know. First, the trending. Actually, we want to ensure the data under consideration is not affected by trend or one-time event. So this one, we have to do the trend, we extract the cycle from the financial data, and then next step is actually cycle detection. We want to detect cycle in the financial data. On how we use Fourier transform or FFT, fast Fourier transform, and this is a lot of outside there. You can use and extract a cycle. After that, we next step is cycle validation. We have to validate cycle that we extract. Is it can be used or it just fake or is it just dummy? So we have to validate this cycle is genuine or not. So by using that, there are method we call butter test. Butter test, there will be a lot of result. Butter test actually help to recognize which cycle is stable, is quality of cycle, then we can apply into our trading. And then last, ranking. We have to do ranking. When we using butter test, there will be a lot of cycle, but we have to pick one, the best cycle to apply in our trading system. And then one of example is I'm using futures crude palm oil, FCPO, one of famous product in Southeast Asia. So this one I'm using weekly chart, and we run tests, and we found out that 66 weeks is the main cycle influence the movement of price. On the chart, we see price right now is turning down, and also it's actually cycle down. So when cycle down, then we add on Elliott wave. We calculate Elliott wave. We found that actually Elliott wave show that market start to correction, and then we combine correction and cycle down. Then maybe you can focus better. Then you know that this is cycle down, and also Elliott wave showing that market in correction structure. So easier to you to know the direction, and then timing, which the best to focus buy or which the best to focus sell at the moment. And then the rival of futures crude palm oil is soybean oil. Soybean oil, once we run cycle test, we found out 73 weeks as the main cycle affecting their price movement of soybean oil. From the chart, we run tests, we plot based on the phase, and then we found out the market cycle of soybean oil may be bottom up at December 12th this year. And also we found that Elliott wave also is the topping or wave 5 and start now maybe the first correction, which is wave A. And then we know it will be B, and then the biggest one drop is maybe C. Okay, and then last I'm share with you is FBM KSCI. We run cycle analysis. Also, we found out there are 186 weeks of cycle for our index. And then we found out that right now, also FBM KSCI on cycle down. And then we add calculation of Elliott wave. They maybe right now is the maybe A complete. Right now is maybe B. And then we look at maybe C after cycle down and start to cycle up again. So this is maybe help you, maybe give you idea how to integrate between Elliott wave and also cycle. So this one will be further study. And if you like to study, you can also study as CFTE and Ifta. Okay. So that's all from me. I open Q&A for audience to ask, maybe to know.
Okay, thank you, Juan. I guess if the audience have question, please fill on the Q&A box, and I will try to translate you. I know this is international event, so please understand that we're using English, right? Mr. Juan, this is one question. What software do you use to derive the cycle period? That is question number one. So we will only limit to 3 questions because our limitation for time. So please, I will choose the top 3 maybe. And then number two, how about the coal cycle price? Okay, I guess commodity is hot right now. So that's the second question. Then the third one is, what do you think about coal? Okay, it's commodity again. In the next 1 or 2 months. So I guess I will stop with three questions. And okay, Mr. One.
Pardon Pak, first question.
The first one is which application or software do you use to analyze the cycle? I guess it.
Okay. Normally, actually, we have cycle organization, international cycle organization. You can go there. They will be provided tools for you to analyze cycle based on their engine, and you know properly how to understand the cycle works. Because this is part of actually academic, and we run tests based on evidence. So every time we don't just receive myth, we take data, we extract data, then we find that there will be rhythm, repeated rhythm. Then we take that as our cycle analysis. Second question.
So I think this one, if I'm not mistaken, you use trading view on the bottom, right?
Yes, this is just plugged in from another engine of cycle analysis.
Okay. So there is one question about the coal cycle. Maybe you wanna just briefly explain.
Okay, core cycle. Core cycle, actually, when we run, actually we get the rhythm that have consistent. Consistent means the cycle is repeat few times and also impact the market. That's after we run tests, we find out the strength of cycle, and we call and also butter test. Butter test is the main cycle is stable. That's mean repeat all over time. So we take it as our cycle time. If sometimes there are cycle, when we do that cycle just come once, then after disappear just like that. We can use that because it's maybe it's not valid for future.
Okay. Okay, I guess this is the last one from Nick Iksan. This is quite good actually. Hi, One. Can you define how to select your cycle for each asset class? I guess Pak Iksan know Mr. One.
Okay. First we have to know intermarket analysis, which is, if you like to study, is geography books. Okay. So the relation between market is totally different. For example, bond market and also stock market will be different phase. There will be cycle, but different phase. So when we like to know the cycle, we have to know the phase. When we extract the cycle, we know that every market have their own phase. So when you want to do strategy, you have to know which market, which phase the market it is. Then you do your strategy based on phase. Sometimes we forget market actually start to cycle down. Then we keep trade, but making loss. Because why? Because we don't follow the trend. We have to follow the trend. So that's how cycle will help you in your trading. Thank you. Pardon Pak, your voice muted.
Andre, unmute.
Pak Andre, I can hear your voice.
Yeah, I guess there is a lot of question here. So we have 3 question answer. I'm sorry. So everyone is curious about the Elliott wave. So why don't we just give 2 more, if you don't mind, Pak Wan? Is it okay?
Two more market.
2 more question.
2 more question. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So there is this one is how do you know the bottoming or the end of wave A, especially in CPO? So why don't we just ask in general? How do you know the end of wave A? Is it calculated or just predicted? Of course, it's calculated. Okay, Pak Wan, please. This question is how do you know the end of wave A?
Okay. Normally after end of top, we expect there will be basic structure, which is with A, with B, and with C. Normally we take the whole from wave travel from start of wave 1 until to end of wave 5. Then we take Fibonacci level, and then Fibonacci level. Then we expect wave A can be 3 leg or 5 leg if zigzag. So we have to know first. If fifth wave, we know the structure of fifth wave. You have to apply we call Elliott wave rule, which is wave 4 cannot enter wave 1. So if you expect, is it wave 1? Is it flat or is it zigzag? So you have to know. If zigzag, the wave structure smooth, we call because it is dropped like in past wave. But if flat, you know the structure of wave is every wave will be overlap, a lot of overlap. So you know this is much more to flat compared to impulse. So from there you can know is it a flat formation or zigzag formation.
Okay, so I guess to simplify the answer, wave A usually is a lower low, right? End of wave 5. Can we say that? And Mr. Wan just explained the flat or zigzag. That is the structure, right? 535 or something like that,
and
right?
We have to confirm
Identify
by price action. Especially the bigger time frame is much more valid compared intraday movement.
Okay, and let me pick one more question, and then we move to the next schedule. Do you use few nominal cycle overlap to find through for the probable bottom? This is from Yusra Yusuf.
Okay, nominal cycle normally they have been studied by them. They are repeated pattern, repeated. Actually, it consists of harmony, which is they are cycle inside the cycle. Like Elliott wave, inside the wave there are another small wave, another small wave. So also nominal cycle, they are inside bigger cycle. Inside the bigger cycle is shorter cycle every time. So they find out that there will be repeated period of cycle. So they summarize to be nominal cycle for that one. But we have to remember variation, and the basic of commodity 7 is variation. There will be no perfect cycle. So you have to know, you have to hold that thing. A cycle can be vary from time to time. But we have, maybe we can use Elliott wave. Then we add Elliott wave, we know the complete structure, and there will be probability of complete cycle. So that is the best. More confluence idea, the best, the better you can read the market.
Okay, thank you, Pak Wan, Mr. Wan. I guess we have to. Yeah, thank you all the participant. So we will have more Elliott wave later from Indonesia. We have one master certified Elliott wave, Pak Daniel, later on. So I guess we miss Whelan today. So we really apology for this. So please, I guess Pak Irfan, please help us. We have the opening presentation from Whelan, our Ifta President. So please, we would like to know our International Federation of Technical Analysis President, Whelan. Maybe Pak Irfan can help. Okay.
Welcome and thanks for joining Market Outlook, the second semester, organized from our IFTA Southeast Asia member societies. I am Wieland Alt, CFTE and President of the International Federation of Technical Analysts, and I'm more than happy to welcome you to the second semester of this very special event. We have some of IFTA's most renowned experts from Indonesia with Mr. Dr. Gemma Toyari and Daniel Augustus. From Malaysia, I'm very happy to welcome Mr. Wanmo Apisuli. From Singapore, I'm happy to welcome Mr. Nicholas Tam. And from the Philippines, we will have Jonathan Ravelas, and I'm very happy to welcome him as well. Thanks also to Intravaya Rangkuti, Director of IFTA and member of AATI, the Asociasi Analisis Technical Indonesia, for the organization, and Andrew Sukanto for the moderation of this great event. With this 2-hour event, IFTA wants to continue the path of giving you a better basis for your investment decision, as well a deeper understanding of technical analysis, and not to forget to introduce our member societies to you. Be assured that you are highly appreciated as a local member and therefore also as a member of IFTA. At IFTA, we focus on the professional education of institutional and private analysts, investors, and traders. With more than 20 member societies and over 7,500 members worldwide, we offer a strong network of experts. So, what can you expect from being an IFTA member? As a member of one of our IFTA member societies, you have access to a broad range of resources for your personal education in technical analysis. You can join our monthly webinars, which are for members only, or discover our huge archive of recordings. Become a certified financial technician, a CFTE, and bring your career as an analyst, investor, or trader to a new level. Or make a deep dive into technical analysis and apply for our Master Financial Technical Analysis, our MFTA certification. With the quarterly IFTA newsletter and the yearly IFTA journal, you have access to the latest thoughts and insights from the most renowned experts of technical analysis, investment, and trading in the world. The yearly IFTA conference takes place either online or offline in one of our member society countries and is one of our industry highlights. And for this year, I'm very happy to welcome you in Melbourne, Australia from 7th to 9th of October. But first, let's start into our second semester market outlook from Southeast Asian member societies. Enjoy.
were sort of topping out, as well as commodities, and equity markets were practically topping out. But moving forward to 2022, we saw a rise in interest rates, the US dollar soaring, cryptocurrencies were falling, commodities were rising, and equity markets tumbling down. So the key question is, how far will all of this go? So hopefully at the end of this presentation, we'll probably see what happens. Okay, so I guess when we talk about these volatile times, it's time to actually look at some behavioral strategies for better returns. One is really actively explore new narratives. So playing devil's advocate is nice. The second, think in terms of probabilities, not certainties. Have a consistent process of market awareness. Let's use some checklists to add discipline to our decision-making process. Let's use the new money questions to validate our holdings, especially now that the markets are quite volatile. And I think given the present volatility, it's nice to have an exit.
And portfolio management. It is also financial advisory and proven successfully for analyze critical business requirement for many organizations. So I guess without further ado, let me have Mr. Jonathan Ravelas from Philippines. Oke, Pak Irfan bisa di ini, can you share the video?
So good morning, everyone. Let me just share my screen. Okay, so this is quite timely to talk about the state of the market. So without further ado, let's do a quick recap of 2021. In 2021, we saw global interest rates coming down. Currencies were also led by the dollar, was slightly weakening. Cryptocurrencies were sort of topping out, as well as commodities, and equity markets were practically topping out. But moving forward to 2022, we saw a rise in interest rates, the US dollar soaring, cryptocurrencies were falling, commodities were rising, and equity markets tumbling down. So the key question is, how far will all of this go? So hopefully at the end of this presentation, we'll probably see what happens. Okay, so I guess when we talk about these volatile times, it's time to actually look at some behavioral strategies for better returns. One is really actively explore new narratives. So playing devil's advocate is nice. The second, think in terms of probabilities, not certainties. Have a consistent process of market awareness. Let's use some checklists to add discipline to our decision-making process. Let's use the new money questions to validate our holdings, especially now that the markets are quite volatile. And I think given the present volatility, it's nice to have an exit strategy and stick to it. Lastly, let's make time to review and reflect our trades the past months. Okay, so at present, we have the perfect storm. Eventually, it risks slow growth and eventually combined with high inflation. It's further exacerbated by the Ukraine invasion, climate change, pandemic insecurity, and the discontent in growth and well-being. So let's look at the charts. And what do we see? These variant, sticky inflation, geopolitics continue to contribute to an overextended market, which probably have ended or topped in 2018 to 2022. Now, when we look at global inflation drivers, you will see that the rise in commodities since 2020 appears to be a very strong trend. While the gold bar is the gold line is actually Baltic Dry Index, which continues to emanate a sort of rising trend as well. So this is the cost of shipping commodities. So both trends continue to move higher. So plus the fact that the US Fed has eventually recently raised 75 basis points, and now 10-year yields continue to emanate a very strong uptrend, which could probably last another 3 to 6 months and could probably test close to 4%. Now, if you look at domestic interest rates in the Philippines, it's actually following the same trend as the 10-year US Treasuries, with the 10-year yields probably looking between 6.7 to probably close to 7%. And it appears to be doing a potential rounding bottom formation. So what could push interest rates higher? Global monetary tightening, global commodity prices continue to push inflation higher, and most of the governments continue to borrow. So let's look at the dollar. The dollar eventually has gone beyond an long consolidation from 2015 to the present. It's actually breaking out. So it seems that this dollar strength could still go between 110 to 120. So it's actually breaking a close to double top at this point in time, and probably looking at 120 over the medium term. So this will actually put a lot of strain to emerging market currencies. So when you look at emerging market currencies, and when we look at the Philippine peso, it's actually performing quite well compared to its peers, just by 4.44% decline. Now, the key question is, will the greenback sustain its strength? And given the fact that the US Fed will continue to raise rates, could put pressure on most currencies. So like for the Philippine peso, that it's now at 53.43, the risks are closer to around 54. Weaker on widening trade deficit and inflationary pressure. So the near-term bias continues to be on the upside. So if we look at the technicals for the Philippine peso, as you see here, you're looking at the next key resistance at 54.41. So this is something to watch over the near term, very similar to other emerging market currencies. Now, what could push the peso weaker? Again, the continued strength on the dollar on the account of further hikes to be expected in the US. Second, continued rise in commodity prices, which will bring inflationary pressures. As a result, that would further weaken and widen the deficit of the Philippines, so the current account and the fiscal deficit. Now, when we look at cryptocurrencies, you will see that there seems to be a head and shoulders formation, and that formation appears to be, that initial topping formation appears to be ending at this point in time. So when you look at the very similar, the head and shoulder is almost over. So when you look at Bitcoin, again, from an Elliott wave perspective, you will actually see that at present levels, it can still extend, but it's already at a 61.8% correction. And normally, a wave to correction is close to a 61.8% retracement. So it could probably overshoot close to 21,000. But again, given time, we could probably be near the end of this correction for Bitcoin. Now, what could still push cryptos weaker is the dollar strength, profit taking, and portfolio adjustment amid the volatility. Now, when we look at commodities in general, and let me break it down to 3 points. One is the one in red is the energy led by oil. You have green, which is agriculture, and eventually gold, which is metals. Both energy and agriculture continue to emanate a very strong uptrend along with rising momentum. And again, what's really fueling all of this is resilient demand, depleting inventories, structural underinvestment in oil, and of course, the geopolitical conflict in Ukraine. So this continues to be the key drivers pushing these commodities higher. So again, these are also the same issues that could keep commodities on the high end. So it seems that with the Russian-Ukraine conflict, it's still far from a completion. So the supply chain disruption continues and the demand remains. So when we look at ETFs, you're seeing that all roads lead to the US, whether it's an equity, fixed income, currency, or commodity, it continues to, again, lead to the US. So when we look at the equity markets, it seems that the global stock market seems to have topped and eventually is slowly turning into a correction or is slowly turning into a bear market. Although it is still far from probably seeing a potential objective, we are slowly turning to the downside. Now, when we look at US stocks versus the world, the US stock market seems to be topping out relative to the world. So this is the S&P 500 vis-a-vis the Vanguard index. So when we look at emerging markets versus the world, we could probably see that some emerging markets could still outperform despite the declines. It's not falling as compared to other markets. Now, when we look at the US Dow Jones Industrial Average, you can actually see an acceleration of the decline. Whether you're talking about reopening, Fed tightening, 40-year high inflation as the key numbers, the pressure to the downside remains. And we're also seeing this in the FANGs. And here is eventually a comparative view of the dot-com bubble in 2000, 2008 during the global financial crisis, and eventually the big events since 2020, which was the pandemic. So again, on all three occasions, we're actually seeing a very slow turn, but it seems that it's favoring the downside. So here is eventually the FANGs, which are basically highlighting the techs that are actually leading the decline. So near-term risks continue to see a 4,000. Now, when we look at comparative markets against the Philippines and the region, the Philippines has declined by close to 10%. And despite the fact that our other peers have slightly declined as well, but the Philippines seems to be the most affected. Again, these are mostly concerns that 70% of our inflation is really more driven by external factors. Yes, most of our requirements are imported, particularly for transport, and in this regard, oil. Now, but when we look at how the Philippine markets have rallied from the lows of 2020, we're seeing sectors, banking, consumers, and telco continue to highlight the potential recovery remains alive and actually is unfolding well, despite the challenges of higher inflation and interest rates. So the key factor really is hopefully we get to see the Philippine stock market bouncing back from the lows, whether we've seen the lasting lows or there could still be near-term risks towards the 5,700 to 6,000 level. The 7,500 to 7,800 is expected to be where the market could be by year end. So again, when we look at the technicals for the Philippine equity markets, you have, I guess, if we look at the Dow theory or the trend lines, the moving average, they all confirm that the market appears to be more headed towards the last leg of the correction. Now, the confirmation of this, that we are probably in the last leg, is a break below 6,000. So momentum continues to favor an accelerating decline. So let me wrap this up, especially focusing more on the Philippines, that especially during what happened in the global financial crisis in 2008, 2009, had you invested from that period and held on today, you have made 8.23%. Despite inflation had averaged 5%, bond yields and time deposit yields are not as superior as stock market returns. So all I'm saying is that you need to watch out this decline, because this could be your opportunity to another rebound, very similar to what we saw in 2008. So what could still push the stock market lower? Inflation and interest rates, another global risk event, or a geopolitical event. So what could go right in 2022? I guess a smooth transition of power. The Philippines and the region appears to be having better pandemic management. People are still focused on infrastructure spending. And lastly, revenge spending could materialize once inflation headwinds are cleared. So let me summarize this by looking at there seems to be a substantial rise in both US and local interest rates. So the charts continue to reflect the market worries. The dollar rally still has some upside left, and the peso could still outperform by year end due to remittances. However, commodities are on track for an upside surprise given the present conditions. While the long-term uptrend remains in force in the Philippines, we are nearly in a correction. So thank you for your time. For those who want a different perspective in the market, I suggest that you follow me on Twitter at RavelasJ. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's a very great presentation. We're very sorry that Mr. Jonathan has something urgent. Maybe in our next event, we will have him to answer all the questions. But don't worry, we still have some great speaker coming. So the next speaker will be, he's also Elliott wave expert from Indonesia. Okay, let me introduce Mr. Daniel Agustinus. He's from Yogyakarta. Is one of the city in Indonesia, and he's been in the market since 2010. Mr. Daniel currently he's a full-time trader and educator in Indonesian capital market. So basically stock market. He's been using Elliott wave for sometimes, I guess, 12 years. And he's also actively a specialist, we call it, in one of the B-trade community, stock community. And he's also speakers to many media, national media in Indonesia. And he's the only one in Indonesia who certified as Master Elliott Wave International. We call it the CEWA. Okay, I guess without further ado, I will give the time and space to Mr. Daniel. Pak Irfan, maybe you can help Mr. Daniel. Okay, Mr. Daniel is here. Pak Daniel?
Yes, hello.
Okay. Yeah, Pak Daniel, please
Yeah.
help yourself for the presentation. We are looking forward to hear Master Elliott Wave from Indonesia.
Okay. Sorry for the video. I cannot start this video because the host has stopped it. Maybe. Okay.
Okay, Pak Irfan, can you help Pak Daniel maybe for the presentation?
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Okay, while we're waiting, okay, Pak Daniel, okay?
Yes, okay. Maybe because I cannot start the video. Okay, start my video. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Mr. Andre.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity that given to me. I'm glad to see you, and it's a great honor and pleasure to be here amongst you today. Let me introduce myself. My name is Daniel Agustinus, and I'm a certified Elliott Wave Analyst Master from Indonesia. I'm also part of Asosiasi Analyst Technical Indonesia and Elliott Wave Analyst in Bitrate Trading course. In this opportunity, I would like to share with you about market outlook second semester 2022 in Elliott Wave perspective. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay. Okay. Maybe some of you doesn't familiar or doesn't know about the Elliott Wave theory. So the Elliott Wave theory is a form of technical analysis that traders use to analyze financial market cycles and forecast market trends by identifying investor psychology and price level, such as high and low, by looking for pattern in prices. Elliott Wave was developed by Ralph and Elliott. So he discovered that stock market price trend and reverse in recognizable pattern. The pattern discount are repetitive in form, but not necessarily in time or amplitude. So he named, defined, and illustrated this pattern and their variation. So he also linked together to form larger version of the self, how they interlink to form the same pattern on the next exercise. Elliott called this pattern as the wave principles. Simply put, movement in the direction of the trend is unfolding in 5 waves. We call it motive wave. Okay, and well, any correction against the trend in 3 waves, and we call it the correction wave. The motive wave is labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as number, and the correction wave is labeled as ABC. Okay, this pattern can be seen in long-term as well as short-term trends. In Elliott wave, our job is to find which wave the price is currently in. So if we know the position, if we know the location, we can predict next movement. Okay, before I start the market outlook, I have disclaimer that the content in this paper is provided for research, educational, and assisting investor to make independent investment decisions. Please note that this is not an investment or trading advice. Any opinion, research, analysis, or other information in this paper are provided as general market information and shouldn't be considered as a recommendation. Okay, we start for global market. The global market, I start from Dow Jones Industrial or DJI. There is a possibility that the Dow Jones it currently at the end of wave 5 of wave 1. So this is a leading diagonal, and next week we will see Dow Jones will rebound, make wave 2, maybe around 32 until 33,000, and then Dow Jones will go down again, maybe to 60 to 2,000 and to 26,000 as the target ideal of wave 3. Okay, this is for Dow Jones. Next, Nasdaq. Nasdaq at the end, currently at the end of wave 3 of wave 4. So the ideal target price is around 2,500 until 2,700, and it has been achieved yesterday. So next week, I expect that the Nasdaq will rebound, and maybe go to this level around 12,000, or if we make wave 5, it can go to 16,000, yeah, maybe around this before he drop again. Okay, this is for Nasdaq. For S&P, currently at the end of wave B, yeah, wave 4. So the target price is around 3,500 until 3,700. And next week, I expect that S&P will rebound, make wave X, maybe to around 3,800 until 4,000. And then after that, S&P will go down again, will drop again, will run wave Y, and potentially will go to 3,200 until 3,300, like this. Okay, this is for S&P. And then for XAU-USD, the best case is currently at wave J of wave 4. So this is a flat correction. Maybe the ideal target price is around 1,615 until 1,725. After that, XAU-USD will finish wave 4 movement and will run wave 5. So I expect XAU-USD will strengthen again, will go upward, and potentially will go to 2,100 until 2,200, like this. This is the target of XAU-USD. Okay, for the next outlook, I will bring the Indonesian market outlook. So this is for ESG or EPX Composite Index. Okay, the main scenario is likely ESG has finished the 5 wave, yeah, the 5 wave. So it will correction maybe to around this level, to around 6,500 or 6,000 until 6,050 maybe is the main scenario. But the alternative scenario, it can be currently at wave 2, so the pink scenario, currently at wave 2 of wave 5. So the correction will be limited to 6,600 until 6,800, maybe around this. And at the X, we go upward again, maybe to around 7,500 until 7,700, maybe around this. And then he will go to make wave 4 and then up again, make wave 5. Okay, so this is the outlook for Indonesia Composite Index. Next, for the stocks, there is some interesting stock like SMGR, Semen Indonesia. The currently position is at the end of wave 2 of wave 1. So maybe we can accumulate at estimation is on level 6,400 until 6,800, around this, because it's wave 2. And we expect that after wave 2 finish, SMGL will run wave 3 into 8,500 until 9,500. Okay, in this scenario will be invalid if SMGR touch or break level, this level 5,850. Okay, this for SMGR. For SS, I think there will be some bottoming period in this next week, maybe at the level 770 and 800. Maybe in this level you can accumulate, because this is the current position is the end of wave 5 of wave 3. So SS will be rebound, will make maybe go to 930 until 980 to make wave 4, and then it will go drop again until maybe 700. This for Asus. And then for consumer cyclical for Indofood, currently at wave B of wave B. So this is the wave B of wave B. With you can accumulate it at 7,800 until 8,200. So you can accumulate at this wave B, and after will be completed, it convert by break level 80,800. The JPP will make wave G, will run wave G, and go potentially to level 9,800 until 10,500. Maybe this one will be the target ideal of wave G. Okay, this is for JPP. For Adaro, there is a sharp correction yesterday. I expect that the correction will be stopped at maybe around level 2,700 and 2,800, maybe around this. This is the part of the C of wave 4. So after this finish, I expect that Adro will move up again, will move upward again. Will go to level maybe 3,750 until 4,000. Maybe this one will be the target ideal of wave 5. Yeah. Okay, the scenario will be invalid if Adro close below 2,400, because if Adro close this, maybe the scenario will be different with this counting. Okay, this for Bank Sentral Asia, BBCA, currently at wave B of wave 2. Yeah. The target is around 7,700 and 800 around this, and after that BCA will go down, will move into 6,800 and 7,000 around this. So we can accumulate BCA on this level, and after that BCA will go upward, will run wave 3 and potentially go to 8,500. So we'll go uptrend again. This scenario will be invalid if BBCA break this level 5,900. Okay. Okay, for BBRI, currently running at wave J, yeah, the beginning of wave J of wave B. So BBRI maybe will be bearish for the short term to level 4,000 until 4,100. So after that, BBRI will complete the B level, the wave B, and will run wave J into 5,400 until 5,600. So this is the part of the leading diagonal, ending diagonal of wave 5, the major ending diagonal. Okay. For Bank Tabungan Negara, currently at the end of wave J of wave 2, yeah. So we can accumulate it at 1,380 until 1,450. Maybe you can accumulate in this with the invalidation level is at the bottom at the wave 2 is around 1,222. Okay. After BBTN complete wave 2 movement, is wave 2, BBTN will run wave 3 and potentially will go to level 2,500 until 2,700. Maybe around this will be the target ideal for BBTN. Okay, this is for Astra International. Currently at beginning of wave J of wave 4, so the ideal target maybe is around 5,800 until 6,500. Okay, after ASI completed wave 4 movement, ASI will run wave 5 at a potentially will go to level 7,800 until 8,000. So this is the potential target of Astra. The invalidation scenario is break 4,640. Okay. Okay, this is for Astra, and this is for Excel Axiata. Currently at the end of wave C of wave 2, so the target price maybe is around 200 2100 until 2150 maybe. So you can accumulate Excel in this level with the invalidation scenario is if Excel 315. Okay. So after this wave 2 will finish, Excel will run wave 3 at the potentially will go to level maybe around 4,300 until 5,000. Maybe this is the ideal target for wave 3. Okay, so this is the end of my sharing maybe for today. Wave analysis enables you to identify potential price direction, offering an overview of the market. By knowing where the price is, you can define your targets and stop loss and predict the trends. This can greatly help you in making sound investment decisions. Elliott wave maybe can give you some hints and provide some scenarios about what is the next market movement. The key is when you have eliminated the impossible scenario, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Okay, so that's all I can share for today. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you can find something useful from my sharing. I would like to apologize if there is a mistake. Thank you and have a nice day.
Okay, thank you, Pak Daniel, Mr. Daniel from Indonesia. Master Elliott Wave, the only one in Indonesia. We are very proud to have you, Pak. I myself is an Elliott Wave practitioner. So next time, if I have question, I will call you. Anyway,
okay, thank you very much.
Let's open up the Q&A box. I guess we have several questions already here. So, okay, there's Pak Al-Fatih also here. Welcome, Pak Al-Fatih. He's one of the AATI senior as well. Okay, let me look for the question. Here, Pak Daniel, we may know what is the time frame you are using in counting the wave. Thank you in advance. This is very simple question from Timothy Sutanto. Pak,
okay, for this presentation, I use weekly chart, but I confirm it into daily chart. So because the Elliott wave have a fractal, so the bigger time frame can be breakdown into the smaller time frame to find maybe the detail movement, right? Like that mungkin.
Okay, so this is more into like midterms, ya, Pak, ya? If you're using weekly.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I actually have a question. Can Elliott wave predict the time frame, Pak? I mean, in terms of because Elliott wave is calculating target using Fibonacci, right? Can we use maybe Fibonacci time retracement just to estimate or guesstimate the time frame?
For my experience, the Elliott wave can calculate the target part from the duration of the correction. We cannot predict. We cannot predict because maybe we can use the alternation rules to predict how long it will happen, the correction. But for the time when is the exact of the correction will be finished, we can predict it like that maybe.
Okay, so
it must be combined with the other technique.
Okay, it's a probability using how long is the wave, right? The correction. Okay, right. I get it. So I guess the question will be to Pak Indra and Pak Gema maybe for the timing analysis, right? I guess Dan or Astro Finance can answer this. Well, anyway, okay, let's move to, it's a great presentation, Pak. We have also several chart example from Indonesian stock market. So please, friends from all over the country, we have from Malaysia, we have from Singapore, Philippines, and US as well. We have Linda and other speakers from many countries. Well, we hope this event, we can have this more often. Anyway, let me look for one more question, and it's already 11:13. Okay, so we can move to the next speaker. Let me look for. Okay, there is okay. There's always a question about stock pick, but this is one question from Pak Prabowo Irawan. Is it possible you can share like a chart? There's a question for ITMG and PTBA. It's up to you, Pak, if you want to answer. Maybe you already have like.
Okay, maybe for the counting about the other chart, maybe you can use you can join our WhatsApp group at this link, and I will answer all the question there. So maybe you can just join this link, and I will answer if you have any question, if you have any maybe yeah, question about chart or question about Elliott wave, you can join this link, and I will answer. Maybe like this to short the time.
Okay, there's two question here. Pak Indra just messaged me from Pak Dayat. Which sector is still interesting overall for Indonesia, especially, Pak? Sektor apa yang lagi hot? Which sector is hot, especially Indonesian market?
I think I think the consumer sector, like maybe Indo food, maybe is will be advantage, yeah, for decision maybe because I think that with I can see the pattern, and it's like impulse wave at the wave A, so we can expect that if the food will be go upward again, will be bullish, yeah, at the maybe 6 until 1 year upward maybe, yeah, because yeah, the pattern is easily to recognize, maybe like this, like that maybe.
Okay, so Indofood is in which wave, Pak? Is it corrective or impulse? You're saying impulse, right?
Okay, let me share this chart again. So,
a quick
view. Okay, quick view. Because this is a five sub wave. So I expect that ICBP will go upward again, because this is 5 wave. This is an impulse wave. So maybe we can expect this is 4 wave. ICBP, Indofood, okay. Indofood, CBP, Sukses Makmur. Wave A or wave 1. So we don't know the maybe the scenario, if the we really like to optimist, we can use this is wave correction already finished, and this is wave 1, wave 2, and yes, ICBP will be bullish on the long term. Maybe if we want maybe like more pessimist, yeah, we can use this is just wave A, this is wave B, and ICBP will go wave C, like this maybe, because it definitely will be five movement in this movement, in this I movement.
Okay, impulse
like
5 sub wave, ya, Pak, ya? Okay.
Correct, the impulse 5.
Okay, thank you, Pak. Let me have one more. Okay, yeah. Okay, please do, Pak, if you still have one to say something. Sorry to interrupt you. Ada yang mau diomongin langsung, Pak?
Nggak ada. It's okay.
Okay, so there is one more from Mr. Yo Chung Lee. Hi, Daniel. Can we use RSI divergence analysis combined with Elliott wave 5 for more confirmation to anticipate the uptrend is ending? Okay, so he wants to know whether we can use RSI divergence.
Okay, for the divergence in indicator, in the modern indicator like RSI or maybe a stochastic, it can be used to locate the fifth wave. So if the indicator is divergent, maybe there is a possibility that it's running wave 5, but wave 5 of the higher degree, we must check with the previous movement, but it can be used, the divergence. to find the fifth wave.
Okay, so we can see the turning point ya Pak ya, atau ending of the wave by using divergence tools, right? So either RSI or MACD maybe.
Correct. It can be combined.
Okay. Okay, thank you Pak Daniel. I guess.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andre.
Yeah, okay. I guess it's a great sharing and great example. So people from around Asia want to look at Indonesian stock. We have very great selection. We have more than 700 companies in Indonesia. I myself traded Indonesian stock. So please contact Pak Indra or us. Anyway, let me continue with the next speaker. Pak Daniel, before we want to thank you for the sharing, and I will continue if you don't mind. Pak Irfan.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Andre. Thank you and have a nice day.
Pak. Okay. So everyone, don't worry. We will still have some more great speaker. We'll be sharing next presentation. Okay. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, has everyone see this? Okay, our next speaker will be Mr. Nicholas. He's currently in the market for. Sorry. Okay, there's a delay. Okay. Hear me? I'm sorry. Just want to check my connection. Okay, sorry. I guess I got disconnected. Can everyone hear me? Okay, Pak Nicholas Tan, 1 second. Let me introduce you. Can everyone see my screen since I have Mr. Nicholas Tan profile? He's been in the industry for 30 years, so clearly he's a very experienced technical analyst, and he's currently is Associate Director of FX and CFD at UOB Kay Hian, ya Pak. And he worked for FX trader and major banks in Singapore for more than 30 years. Okay, and he's also the author of 2 popular books, Handbooks for Forex Trading and Handbooks for CFD Trading. Yeah. He is also appears on many TV programs like Money Minds to discuss Forex trading, and he's been giving a lot of numerous talks and seminar for technical analysis locally and overseas. Okay, so he's a certified holder of CMT, Charter Market Technician, and also he's a certified CFTE with International Federation of Technical Analysis. So I guess without further ado, I will give the time and presentation to Pak Nicholas. So Nicholas, please. Pak Irfan, tolong dibantu. Let me end my. Okay.
Okay, before I start, can you see my screen?
Yeah, Pak. We can see it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So today I'll be presenting. My agenda will be on the 4-year cycle. I talk about the 4-year cycle in January, so I'm going to elaborate on it. I'll also talk about the equity trend, the currency trend, and the commodity trend. For the 4-year cycle, I actually combine the 4-year cycle with the portfolio stock theory. Okay, so why do I look at the 4-year cycle? We all know when we look at technical analysis, we want to look at a higher time frame, and also we want to look at the current trading time frame. So the 4-year analysis or the 4-year cycle to me is the higher time frame. And I will use Ichimoku chart on a weekly basis to determine the shorter term time frame. So for this sharing, I'm looking at something like 3 to 6 months of analysis down the road. For the 4-year cycle, the last time we bottomed, that was in 2012. And again in 2016, we have a bottom. And in March 2020, we also had a bottom. The next bottom, based on the 4-year cycle, is likely to be in 2024 in March. And in cycle theory, we are looking at the bottom. From the low to the low, there's a 4-year cycle. And for the high, usually it is in the middle of the cycle. But most of the time, in reality, the high is usually not right at the center of the cycle. So based on the cycle, we saw a low in 2020. And from 2020, we have seen a rally in the stock market. And this rally in the stock market has continued. And recently, the Dow Jones, in fact, from the beginning of this year, the US market has been coming down. Why do we look at the US market? The US market is the leader. The global market tends to follow. So I look at the US market, and I think that we may have seen a high before March 2022. The stock market is likely to be on a downtrend, and the low is likely to be in the year 2024. So we know the long-term cycle or the long-term trend is likely to be bearish. You have also heard from the other speaker, the one before me, Park Daniel. He's also bearish on the US market. So I'm going to look at the US market. On the Ichimoku chart, we have seen price break below the cloud. That is a sign that the trend probably has turned bearish. And where can it go to? The Dow Jones, the first target will be about 29,000 level. The next target will be probably about just below 25,000. If you heard from Mr. Park Daniel earlier on, that is also about the 62% price target level. Not just the Dow Jones, but I think all the 3 indices, they are all going down. We have seen the high. We are likely to see a continuation of the bear trend. But it doesn't mean that the bear trend will continue to move one direction, lower all the time. We are probably going to see a movement somewhere like this, and then we will see a B leg. According to the Elliott wave, what Park Daniel has shared, we may see a A, and we have a B, and then we probably have a C lower. For Nasdaq, there's a possibility that we can see a movement down to the 7,000 level. Okay, so the first level, I think, is just below 9,000. We'll see how it goes. From there, I do expect a pullback, probably around the 50% before the next decline comes down. This decline is likely to be seen in the year 2024, or should I say, the low is likely to be seen in the year 2024. The S&P is also the same. So all the 3 indices are coming down. First support level, 3,006. But I think the ultimate level is where the 62% of this rally comes in. That is at 3,002. So the stock indices are coming down. The US is coming down. The US has been going up for many years. It has been coming down. It's going to come down now. Other markets are likely to be affected. So for US, most probably you have to be short. If you are not shorting, if you are wondering, if the market is coming down, what stocks can I buy? If you look at the portfolio theory, usually in the last stage of the market, commodities are the last sector for you to put your money in. And so I have picked a stock. This is ConocoPhillips. It's listed in the US. The price has come down. The price is still above the cloud. There is a support at this level here, if it stays here. And as long as it stays above the cloud, we still have another chance to see a price test back up to 125 US dollars and above. For the last stage, commodities, utilities, these are the stocks to look at. For the Singapore stock market, Mr. Jonathan has just, I share his data from earlier on. Indonesia is the only stock market that is positive. Singapore has just, is around neutral or no gains, but most of the other markets are actually negative. So if you look at the Singapore stock market, the index is also coming down. We are likely to see a test of this low. This is a very important level, 3,000 level within the next 3 to 6 months. And again, this is not the end of the move. This is probably likely to be the start of a new decline lower. For the Singapore stock market, one of the leading stock is our bank, DBS Bank. If you look at the price chart, this is on a weekly basis. Price is still above the cloud, but I'm expecting price to move below. Okay, so again, if you look at the price movement, this could be the start of a decline. Okay, so we could be looking at something like a third wave now. Okay, third wave of the A wave. We're likely to see a 5-wave structure. So most probably this is the start of the A wave. Probably another correction before it comes down, and then further down, a B leg and a C leg later on. For the KL stock market, price has actually dropped below the cloud, and most important, price has actually dropped below a V-shaped price structure. And this V-shaped price structure has a short-term price target. The target you can calculate by using the V projection price target. Okay, so you will go down by this amount here. So something like this, somewhere around here, we're going to see a price move to 13 or 1004 level for the KL stock index. Again, the KL stock index may be going down. Is there any stock that the KL listed on the KL side that can actually goes up? Again, I'm looking at a commodity because during the last stage, commodity is probably the only sector that you can really profit from holding a long position. So if you look at this stock, KL Kapong, price is still above the cloud. You can see that the cloud, there's a window here that is the support is actually very, very weak. So if we can pass the month of July, if we can pass the month of July and price is above the cloud, going forward, the cloud will provide stronger support. But if price drop below the cloud, somewhere in the month of July, then the trend will probably be down. We have a strong support around the 23 ringgit level, so that could be a strong support level to look out for. Jakarta Stock Index, if you can see, so far, this is the only stock index that is still above the cloud. The trend is bullish. We may have a crossover here, so it could signal the start of a correction or could be the start of a bear. But lagging span here or the Chico line is still confirming a bullish market. So I would expect price to hold. So far, Jakarta Stock Index is the only market that is positive, that has returned a positive return for this year. As for which Jakarta stock to look at, okay, Park Daniel, just before me, has given you many stock pick. So I shall not go into the Jakarta stock pick. I will touch more on gold and currencies. If you look at the price of gold, gold has dropped. Gold is a commodity, but gold has not escaped the interest rate factor. Interest rate is going to go up. Interest rate will go up this year. Interest rate will go up next year. US interest rate, going by the Federal Reserve projection, we are likely to see 3.8% in interest rate by the end of 2023. So for gold, gold has no interest, but the holding cost of gold is in US dollars. So the US interest rate will increase in US interest rate will increase the cost of holding gold, which may bring gold lower. For gold, I'm also looking on a short-term basis. Within the next 3 to 6 months, we may see a pullback in price to the previous low, which is around 1750. The US dollar index has been going up. The US dollar index earlier on, Mr. Jonathan has also highlighted the movement. We also seen a movement above the previous high, so it is likely to go higher. Will it go higher? I think yes, it will continue to go higher. Number one, US interest rate is going up 3.8%. US interest rate will outperform the global interest rate. That means most other countries may not have as high an interest rate as the US going forward. So the US dollar index is likely to go up. It means that when we look at dollar index, it is a combination of 6 different currencies. The euro has the biggest weighting. It means that if the US is strong, the euro is likely to be weak. The yen is likely to be weak. Sterling is likely to be weak. So if the US dollar is weak, which currency has the best potential? I think US against the yen has the best potential. Price has reached a 24-year high. Okay, price has reached a 24-year high. I think it will continue to go up. There are 2 factors for it. If you look at the US Treasury, it is going up. If you look at the Japanese bond, the interest rate is almost 0. If the US continue to hike interest rate, the yield differential between the 2 bonds will continue to widen. Who would want to hold Japanese bond, which pay close to 0 interest? Who will not want to buy US bonds that can go up to 4 or 5% next year? So if you look at this factor, it is going to help the US dollar. I think the dollar yen is likely to appreciate. If you look at the holding cost, if you buy on the currency, you're going to pay swap. Every day, it is going to cost you if you short the US dollar. But if you long the US dollar, you will earn on the appreciation. You will also earn on the carry cost. So you have 2 advantages. So this is one of the major reasons why I think the US dollar yen is likely to go higher. For the short presentation, this is all I can give to you. I can share with you. I will now open the floor to question and answer. If you have any questions, please type in the question box.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nicholas Tan. Very comprehensive and great presentation. You cover everything here globally. Very nice. Okay. Let me read one of the questions we have here for Mr. Nicholas Tan. And there's one from Pak Timothy Sutanto here. The 4-year cycle idea is so interesting, but we may know he is wondering what is the idea of number 4 in 4-year cycle? For instance, why not 5 years? And is it just a coincidence that the 4-year cycle match the FIFA World Cup cycle? Just joking. Okay, thank you in advance. Maybe you can explain the 4-year cycle. Why not? Is it why not 5 years or 6 years? Please, Mr. Nicholas.
Okay, First, why the 4-year cycle? There are many other cycles. There's also a 7-year cycle, which the stock market tends to follow. The 7-year cycle actually has a market peak in 2021 to late to early 2022 as well. And the 4-year cycle, if you look at the Dow Jones, okay, I'm basing the cycle on the Dow Jones on the US market. If you look at the Dow Jones in the year 2012, you have a low. You have another low in 2016, and you have a low in 2020. So a historical study of the Dow Jones chart shows you there is this prominent 4-year cycle. The bigger cycle will be the 7-year cycle. So it ties in actually quite nicely with the 4-year cycle. Okay, so this is the first part of your question. Why the 4-year cycle? What is the number 4 in the 4-year cycle? Okay, I'm looking at the US market. In the US market, there are actually 12 sectors. The S&P have 12 different sectors. And earlier on, I said, I use my cycle theory, I combine it with stock portfolio theory. So in stock portfolio theory, these 12 cycles, they will move according to the market movement of the cycle. Usually, the banks and tech companies, they will tend to do well in early part of the cycle. So this number 4 refers to one of those one of those sectors. Okay, so for commodities, for utilities, they tend to perform best, or should I say, they tend to hold up well in the last stage of the portfolio cycle. So last stage, and also because in this current situation, commodity prices will also benefit from inflation. So commodities will be the last sector that will perform well before the entire market goes down, and then we will have a bear market. And probably it will take some time before it reach the 2024 low. Okay, so that's my answer to your question. Okay, so due to time limit, I may not be able to answer so many questions that I see in the question box. For those that I can, I will try to type the answers if I have no time to answer your question into the question box, so do not worry. Okay, so Andy, next question.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Nicholas. I guess your presentation is very good, very clean and well explained. So do you mind if one more question before we move to the next speaker? And then if, I guess we don't have time, right? We can move to the next after this. I guess there's one question from Pa Al-Fatih here. Pa Al-Fatih is one of the senior technical analysts, also one of the founder of the Indonesian Technical Association, Pa. Mr. Tan, with Ichimoku, how do you calculate the upside or downside target price? Very simple and straightforward question.
Okay, for this Ichimoku, there are actually 7 different types of price projection. Ichimoku tells you the trend, the components give you the trend. There's also the reversal signal given by Ichimoku. There's also price projection target. There are 3 very popular or 3 mostly used price projection target. It is a V projection target. The N and the E, the price projection target. Okay, for the N price projection target, it is actually very similar to the Fibonacci ABC correction price target calculation. For the E, it is something like the Fibonacci 1.618 price projection target. So if you want to know more about the price projection target, you can actually read up the book on Ichimoku. The price target that I used earlier on to calculate is based on the V-shaped price projection target. The V-shaped price projection target is based on the height of the inverted V. You take that height, you move it down to the previous low. I give you an example here. Okay, we have a price, we have a V shape here. How to calculate where this price will go to? You can just take the height of the V down to the bottom, just add this height to the top. That will give you a price target of about 110 for the US dollar index. Okay, so this is how I do the price calculation. Okay, so Pak Andri, do I have time to answer one more question, or should we move on to the next speaker?
Okay, it's 11:44. If you don't mind, maybe 3 questions. One more. Maybe
okay, sure. Go ahead.
I'll let you pick the question, but this time. Ichimoku. So it's like a 1.1618 in Fibonacci. Okay.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so I'll choose the first question. Why gold price goes down? Because the theory say that if there's inflation, price of gold will go up. Okay, so I'll answer this question. Gold has 2 pillars or 3 factors. One of it is during war, gold will go up. So we have Ukraine war at the present moment. Second, gold will appreciate when there's inflation. So we have inflation at the present moment. And third factor for gold, gold is affected, gold moves negatively or inversely with interest rate. So if interest rate goes up, gold will come down. War in Ukraine has gone on for 3 months. So I think that is no longer a strong pillar for gold. Now it is a balance between inflation and interest rate. Inflation is likely to stay high, but if inflation stays high, interest rate will go higher. So if you balance these 2 factors, I think interest rate will actually overcome the inflation support for gold. So I think on a shorter term, on a longer term basis, price of gold will go down, but it will not go down that much because there is still support from the inflation factor. But this inflation factor is not likely to be able to overcome the hike in interest rate. Okay, so I've answered 3 questions. The rest of the other question, I will type the answer online. So let's move on to the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nicholas Tan. Well explained, simple, but answer everything. Okay, so I guess we will have the next speaker. Is also one of our great technical analysts in Indonesia. Let me share the profile. Dr. Gemma Merdeka Goyardi. Okay, I guess you all can see all the degree he has underneath his name. So Pak Gemma is the CFTE and MFTA, so Master of Technical Analyst holder from Indonesia. He's also the CEO and founder of Astro International. Okay, so I will share a little bit of, he is born in 17 August of 1986. So for all of you from outside Indonesia, August 17th is our Independence Day. So Pak Gemma was born at Independence Day. I guess he's also have a great career and organizational experience. All you can see in here, Pak Gemma also on 14 days pilot flight academy. He himself is a flight instructor, beside of expert in technical analysis. He's also a flight instructor, right? So we can see he has many expertise. Also, he plays piano very well and guitar occasionally. Well, anyway, without further ado, I guess I can take many times in Pak Gemma Oh, you can see music, public speaking, research and strategy, right? A lot of license he owned. I guess, yeah, without further ado, I will let Pagama. Is it here already, Pagama?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great.
Can you hear me?
Okay, we have Dr. Gemma Goyardi will be sharing for today. Okay, Pak, silakan, Pak.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Gemma Goyardi. Thank you. I'm really happy to meet you guys. And hi, Linda. Thank you for sparing your time. I'm here in Los Angeles now. It's about 10 p.m. So I don't know about the center of America and North America. So hopefully you're still awake. Thank you so much. So let's start. Let me share my screen. I got around 40 slides to share with you. All right. Okay, so this will be a market outlook for the second semester from the cycle perspective. Thank you very much for Ifta for having me in this amazing gathering. And hopefully all the participants can follow whatever all the great presenters provide you with analysis. Speaking about the second half, I want to bring up a little bit about what we have done in the first half 2022. You can visit our YouTube channel, and this is one of the biggest call in 2022. I am a bullish man. Actually, I don't really like to give a bearish outlook because people are gonna hate me, of course, right? But I cannot hold myself to remind everyone. It was in April 17, 2022. I saw something that I also saw in 2008, 2013, and 2015. And I believe the macroeconomy globally and also Indonesia forced me to make this content. It was April 17 when the Jakarta Composite Index still very, very strong, and using the Elliott wave and also the market cycle combined with the astrology cycle, then I guess the fifth wave has been achieved. Then I call that for a potential big reversal. And also the most important part is the rupiah. So Indonesian rupiah, I believe it will reach 16,000 again sooner or later. It could be by the end of the year or maybe the quarter three. And this is also the new content that we made on the 17th of April. Now, if we're looking to other presenters materials, right? They're talking about the wave, and this is the main reason why I call it bearish. This is a screenshot from my video. What I saw, it was a wave 5 of 5, and it already hit the zone. The subdivision of wave 5 was already there. So I was looking at 6,300 to 5,600 as the main target price of the mini crash of Jakarta Composite Index that time, right? And what was happened in the first half, I also saw the bearish divergence is the triple bearish divergence on a bigger time frame like weekly chart, and the correction of JCI has been unfolded. What was happened, it was crashed about 11% downside, then followed by a strong rebound. But the question is what next? Now you can see another downside after last week, the Dow Jones tumbled about almost 3%, I guess. So we guess the JCI will go down more than 11%. So everybody see that, right? So let's see about the rupiah that time. In the first half, I saw that this symmetrical triangle is like symmetrical triangle, but actually yeah, if you draw something here, it's like a long symmetrical triangle and has been broke together with the very strong of US dollar, the XY index. That time, I believe that the strong point of the US dollar will also impact the JCI. And if you can see here, also the gaps at 16,200 on the rupiah will be the sign of the weakening of Indonesia rupiah. And this is what you get. after that triangle broke, and today we can see the rupiah hit the 14,800. I still believe that 16,200 will be the fair target price during these circumstances. All right, and then for the second half of 2022, this is the summary. The Russia-Ukraine war, of course, is slowing down the economy, the supply chains, so for the wheat, and then the commodity will get hit by this kind of situation. And then I believe the Fed will go to the tapering, doing the tightening. If you live in the United States, you know that the 8.6% inflation really kill us. The gas price now is about $7 here in California. It's really painful. The new Omicron, the new subvariant is also the major factor why we believe that the major correction is not a disaster though. It's like maybe almost similar with the COVID back then in 2020, maybe half or 2/3 of it. But I guess this is the post-COVID to show the projection, which is we combine the macroeconomy and technical analysis. We can also see this parameter. I don't think that we are on the positive side of the global economy, and then this will be a motor for the bearish trend can be appeared in our life, right? However, in Indonesia, why we are still strong? Because we are still better in the gross domestic product comparing to other countries in Southeast Asia, and then we can still manage the inflation, even though I guess that will hit 4% sooner or later. And since the Fed increasing its interest rate, the Bank Indonesia will also following that. Unemployment rate still controllable, and then trade balance. We're just afraid that we're gonna trap into the stagflation, right? And then this is the annual growth rate. We can still maintain on about 5%. That's the main reason why the JCI is still strong, and also that the inflation that I'm talking about, I guess this bullish trend, this uptrend, will bring Indonesian inflation to hit 4% sooner or later. Okay, the unemployment rate is very good. We don't see any threat. The trade balance is also the key. If you're looking for the trade balance, whenever it become negative or deficit, you will see a bearish trend right away in Indonesia. So that's a key. It happened in 2013 back then. The trade deficit will bring the rupiah all the way to maybe 13 to 14,000 that time, and now maybe it will be 16,000 if we cannot maintain our export. So that's the summary of the macroeconomy, and let's see the JCI, the technical view. So I break down into 4. As a momentum, you will see the weekly bearish divergence together with the monthly bearish crossover. You can use the stochastic slow or stochastic RSI. You will see that coming, okay? And it signs that a huge sideways for at least 3-4 months bearish cycles is coming, okay? At least you will see very high volatility, a huge sideways that come to our market. If the JCI happening like that, so it means the Dow Jones or Nasdaq or S&P 500 will also be the same, okay? And then the pattern, in the smaller perspective, the JCI is moving on the wave 3 RC, that's what I believe, or possible a 335 non-ideal flat correction. That's gonna happen. I will discuss that on the next slide. And then let's take a look to the very important target price. You will be considered around 6,150 and 5,400, the worst, before another long-term rally to 7,800. You can keep the record on this. I guess this will be a very accurate and fair number for you to consider before you go for any investment in Southeast Asia, especially Indonesia. And the JCI is likely move in a multi-month sideways when Sun travels to Cancer or Libra. And this is the picture after a multi 5-wave rally, and this is what we see. We believe that now we already end at the end of wave 2 or B, and then it's coming down to the wave 3 or C with a complex correction or non-ideal ABC correction, and then following by the long 5-wave rally to 7,800. So this is the biggest opportunity for you to buy a great stocks, maybe banks or commodity that we know that now the inflation and commodity price because of the war will lead the coal price to the moon, of course, right? And using the astrology model with the several astrology cycle, I can see that the huge sideways movement or even the middle term bearish could be ended around mid of September, okay, 2022. And you can see when the sun travels to Libra, that's the best part for you to start doing a bottom fishing. Looking for the Thanksgiving on the November, it's also a great opportunity to wait for entry to JCI. Based on our statistic model, we can also see whenever the sun travels to Capricorn to Taurus, you got 68.8% of bullish momentum. Then before the sun travels to Capricorn is the best moment for you to buy on weakness, and it will give you another 40 to 50%. That's the best part of Indonesia stocks market, that you may not get it from other countries. Okay, so with all respect, I mean, if you're doing the investing in Southeast Asia country, you may want to try to come to Indonesia and buy some stock here. This year, I recommend you banking stocks. Last year, I booked about 60 to 70% profits from banking stocks and the commodity stocks, especially the coal. Okay, so I give you the time cycle already. I mean the time frame, and then for the peaks, if you're like if you like the banking stocks, you can also see the BRI. Let me go to the chart. This is the weekly chart. I'm looking for the support at 4,100. That's a minimum. Okay, so let's put a buy limit on that price. We're waiting patiently, and then you're looking at 5,000 at least, to be exact. Okay, and then you're looking for 5,200 for medium to long-term investment time horizon. That's a BRI. Will give you a lot of profits, and just wait until the price hit 4,000 to 4,100. Also, the Mandiri, we got a state-owned bank, Bank BRI and Mandiri. This is one of the strongest bank in Indonesia. You're looking for 9,500. So anytime you see the price is tumbled below 7,000, that will be a great alert for you to looking for a buy on these stocks. Okay, the more the crash, the bigger size of the scale or any crash in Indonesia, you're looking for these two banks. Now, actually, I don't really like the coal, but this year I cannot say no to the coal stocks, as we believe that the coal will still continue its upside movement, and this is ITMG, the other coal stock from Indonesia that has a very great fundamental, strong financial performance, and also very consistent trend. Is making 45 degrees upside movement, very aggressive impulsive wave, a very aggressive candle when it moves into the bullish trend. So I'm looking for 41,000 after the midterm correction completed. Okay, so the main support is about 28,000 to 29,000. As long as the price is moving to bullish rally, please, you can consider to buy these coal stocks. Looking to the gold, I really love gold, and let's go directly to the chart. If you're looking to the short-term period of time, there's a complex correction. This is a huge sideways movement that's possibly to bring gold down to 1680. Okay, but if you're looking to the longer time frames, like a big time frame, 2,300 will be the next target price for the wave 5 rally. This could take about 24 months maximum. Then I'm a kind of a short term. Sometimes I play the midterm for the market outlook. So let's take a look again. This is the short term period of time. You will see the 1680 possibly, or 17, around that, right? The main reason is the complex correction, and the price will looking to the strongest demand or strongest support that it can hit. But if you look to wider perspective, it's fair to say that this complex correction will be ended by another rally to 2,300. Now, about the US dollar index, 117, I guess, will be the next target price. So we should be aware. If this happened, then maybe rupiah will hit 15,500 to 16,000. So let's see what's going to happen next, right? So the Dow Jones, this is what I see. If you're looking to the distribution part of the price action, before it back to 36,000, you're looking to 26,000, okay? And I have another Dow Jones outlook here. 26,000 is roughly, okay, it's about 2 or maybe 3 months period of time horizon. And the biggest risk of Dow Jones is going to 24,500. This is the biggest number that I can give you for the summary of the midterm correction, or if you want to say that this is a mini crash. So this is a number that you want to take a note or pay attention on it, okay? It means that whenever you see this number hit, then a big reversal or maybe the V-shaped reversal is gonna happen in Dow Jones, following by the other market. The cryptocurrency wise, if you can see the Bitcoin, this is the main support of Bitcoin, 17,000 and maximum 12,000. And then hopefully, everybody finger crossed, 70,000 will be hit. So whenever you see the number 12 to 17,000 and at the weekly chart or even monthly chart, you see a major reversal, bullish divergence or any strong reversal based on the strong support, or you want to use the demand level, whatever you want to have it, just remember, you got a 70,000 target to be hit. There's never ever market develops like a lifetime bearish trend or lifetime bullish trend. Everything moves in cycle. Whenever you got a midterm bearish trend completed, then the next will be midterm or even longer term bullish trend. So get ready for that, right? So that's all for me. See you in Melbourne, Australia, Ifta Conference 2022. I'm proudly represented or invited by Australia Technical Analysis Association to be one of the speaker, and I really hope to see you there in Melbourne. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Pak Gema. Very well presentation, well explained, and also very comprehensive. You cover everything here, from gold, Indonesian stock market, Bitcoin, and everything else. I guess we move to a question part. We will, as usual, I guess we will limit the 3 questions.
Yeah, my pleasure.
There's one question.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. There's one question from Pak Iwan Tanaya. Okay, Pak Iwan from Bali. This one to Mr. Gema. Where is the direction for Indonesian Stock Exchange (IHSG) after June 24, according to Astro timing, Astro Finance? Okay, this is very specific to Astro Finance, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Pak
I
Gema.
guess on the 21st of June, the sun travels to Cancer, and then the summertime is started. Okay, based on the statistic that I made, you will see that the big sideways or even the medium correction, like 11 to 20% correction, will happen within that time frame. Okay, when sun travels to Cancer to at least Libra, you're looking to big sideways or downside movement. But remember, this will last about 3 to maximum 5 months, and then you need to be ready for buying the good stocks, your favorite stocks at the lowest price. Then keep it for maybe 5 to 6 months, and you can expect 30 to 40% profits after that.
Okay, so there will be a bottom.
Yeah, we're looking for that.
Okay. Okay, Pak Iwan, I hope Pak Gema answer your question. Thank you very much. And there's one from Pak Alexandro Calvin to Dr. Gema. Does the inflation rate impact on Nasdaq and gold market? I guess it will impact. And how does the impact for both market? If the inflation rate goes up, what will happen, and vice versa? Thank you. Silakan, Pak.
Yeah, as we know that the inflation rate here in US, right, is really, really massive. And having said that 8.6% inflation already impact all the housing, technology, the food, the labor, then you will see the supply chains on any industry, okay, that will create a cost plus inflation. Then when the companies cannot pass over the cost to the clients, whatever their strategy is, then they have to reduce their profit margin. And if that happens, then their business model we're facing a big problem. Okay, and especially when the people here in the United States, they cannot afford to buy something, or the consumer spending or consumers' confidence is pretty low, and then the jobless claim is really high, then that's a huge problem for any index, of course. That the technology, the agriculture, anything, you name it, right? That will get impact. So I guess this major inflation is really, really harmful for any stocks market. That's why the only way to handle it, the Fed should increasing their interest rate. The main problem after the rate hike is the debt crisis. Okay, people here in the United States, they do a lot of mortgage. Is back then 2007 is almost the same. When the interest rate jump about 75 basis point, they will face a huge risk of default. And you're looking for the next 12 months for the effect. It's not today, it's not next week, but you will see this snowball will come to the news in the next 12 months. And let's see what's going to happen next. So that's a short correlation that I can explain to you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Gema. I guess, well, we have the expert here for market timing. Okay, please ask Pak Gema about the time. I guess this is very interesting. Okay, Pak, I will pick the question here. Pak Gema, what is your projection for oil price and time target to reach the peak? Wow, this is a great question, Pak.
Yeah, I don't do the oil for detail, okay, but since I'm now working as well in for the government, so we make analysis for Indonesia presidential office. So I just published my research to them to see that the oil is also another problems, but I'm not expert in the oil. I don't do the research, deep research, especially the cycle in the oil, but I can see $135 to $150 will be the fair value to say during this condition for the oil to reach that level again. So you can do your own research, but that's for me. That's the main target of the oil, at least for the next 6 months. 135 and 150.
Thanks.
Okay, 125 to 150 in the next 6 months.
135 and 150.
Okay. And okay, there's one question about the strategy. In case of deflation, this is from Pak Timothy Sutanto. In case of deflation, this is not inflation, deflation. What's the trading strategy that Pak Gema recommends? Thank you in advance.
Yeah, I guess we don't see the deflation for the next year. The stagflation is maybe happening, but having saying, if you are looking for the deflation, since this is the macroeconomy can be, can be at any direction. It's really hard to say what's going to happen when the market back to deflation. It's going to be a bullish, but having say the technical relation to that macroeconomy, I guess they will walk at the same direction. If you are looking to the deflation in these days, I guess the Dow Jones will back to a very, very, very strong bullish trend, because deflation is not really good. High inflation is absolutely worse. But if I have to choose for now, maybe deflation is better than inflation, hyperinflation like this, right? But what is the strategy? Still, if you're in the bullish trend, just buy on weakness. Okay, and then if you're very clear to see the Dow Jones or any market moving in a bearish trend, initial states of bearish trend, just do the short selling. As simple as that.
Okay, thank you, Pa. There's one question here from TG Neo. Hi, Pagama. Any comments on the idea that Bitcoins has a 65-week cycle? If so, what does okay, the question keep scrolling up, sorry. 1 second, Pagama.
Can you read it again, please?
Yeah, okay, let me, this question is keep scrolling up. 1 second, Pa. Let me scroll up. Pertanyaannya, oh well, okay, let me move to the next one first, Pak. Yeah, that's a question about 65-week Bitcoin cycle, Pak. Okay.
What about it?
Okay, let me read from Pak David Suyanto first. Pak Gemma, Mr. Gemma, outlook in September to November 2022 will be the bottom. And should expect bullish movement. Is the bullish move only for short term?
Yeah, I cannot hear clearly. You're just like a robot. Do you hear my voice well? Hello?
It's my connection, I guess.
All right, let me help you.
1 second. Can you hear, Pagama?
Yeah, I hear you, but you're really cut out.
Oh, okay. I guess Pagama connection is dropping, Pak Indra. Pak Indra, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How about me now? Hello?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right,
Please
go ahead.
Right.
Okay, Pak. I guess I will repeat the question from Pak David Suyanto here. Mr. Gemma, outlook in September to November 2022 will be the bottom and should expect bullish movement afterward. Is the bullish move only for short term? Because Mr. Nicholas' outlook in longer term is still bearish based on the 4-year cycle and will expect bottom to occur in 2024. Do you agree with his view? Thank you.
All right, look, Nicholas got his perspective and it is great, okay? And we're talking about the different perspective of time frame. What I'm looking is when, okay, let's put it this way, okay? This is what Nicholas see. Let's put this way. The orange arrow is whatever he sees, okay? And this could take 4 years around here, right? And in the middle of this movement, I still believe you will see any spike. So let's do this. This is what he see, and this is what I see. I'm seeing this down. Okay, let me change to the green color. This is me, and it's going to be higher a little bit, and then I will join his view here. Especially 2024 is the presidential or election year for Indonesian states, and after that it's going this. So we have the same perspective, but at the different level of time frame. The green arrow represents my view, and the orange arrow maybe represent Nicholas' view. So basically we're the same. If you're looking to the great cycle, everything is still fine. Everything is still bullish, but this time frame is the monthly game. Any secondary reaction on the monthly chart, let's say 50% or EMA 90, you will see 5,600, maybe 4,800, whatever is that. It's still under the major great cycle of the bullish trend. So we're talking at the same view, but a different time frame.
Okay, maybe okay, different time frame. Okay, let's move to the next question, Pak Gemma.
Okay.
Since I have a lower question for you, maybe
Thank
one
you
more.
very much. Go ahead.
Okay. There's a question about what is the composite prediction in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you want to answer this, Pak Gemma?
Yeah, it's just like 100% bullish. That's it. I mean, we learned from 1998. If you're looking for 5 years and 10 years, you buy now, and by the end of that 10 years, you will see your portfolio minimum 200% profit. That's it. In the middle of it, don't talk about the all volatility and just forget about it. Just buy and hold if you want it.
Okay, it's a simple question here, Pak. Not actually, if you want to answer from Ibu Eros Perwita. Why is the gold price still go down? Because the theory said if there is inflation, the gold price will rise.
Cool, very good. Okay, the answer is why the gold is down is because the US dollar is very strong. The gold is comparing to the US dollars and people buying the US dollars, including me, right? And then the Fed increasing the rates, and also maybe you will see also the long-term notes, the bond of United States will keep going up. Then people will switch their portfolio from the stocks or maybe from the gold. They buy the US dollars, and they also can buy the US bond, especially now they have a product named I-bond with a 9.5% rate, I guess, right? Then the portfolio switching will happen. If you see like very, very short term is not reliable, but if you're looking for the long-term relation between the inflation and gold, I guess there's still convergence. Hope that answer.
Okay, I hope that answer all the question. Okay, there's one more part before. I guess we will give for the last question for actually there's two. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. I can answer it all.
Specifically to Indonesian. Okay, this is specifically to Indonesian stock. Why BBRI and BMRY, Pak, instead of BBNI and BCA?
Yeah, because since 2020, I like these two stocks. First, it has very distinct trend. Number two, if the bullish trend back, they really have the impulsive candlestick. And number three, both of that stock give me more than 50% return or equity growth within the last 2 years. So I'm gonna make more money with that two banks. That's what I can share to you.
Okay, it's more into a specific character of the stock.
Correct.
Okay. Anyway, there's one last question here. This is also specific to Indonesian tech sector, Pak. Please share your outlook on Indonesian tech sector, especially GoTo, in facing US rate hikes and potential US recession. So GoTo.
Yeah, GoTo is one of phenomenal tech stocks. It's really big market share. It's about, I don't know the exact number. It's about is that the 40 trillion or 400 trillion? I forgot about the exact.
I think right now it's more than 50, Pak.
Yeah, yeah, it's correct. It's a 50 trillions, right? Rupiah. For all friends, you can convert it to your own currency. Then you know this is a really, really huge. And now it's the top 3 of Indonesian capital market market size. So if you're looking to that size, I don't think that GoTo will make a stupid movement, because that will make our index looks ugly. And I guess for the long run, at least 800 or 1,000 for the next 2 years will be reasonable for GoTo.
Okay, it's actually more than that, Pak. Sorry, it's 433.
It's 400 trillion, right?
Yeah, it's a
yeah, it's 400 trillion. I can remember because last month I got an interview with the CNA Singapore. So yeah, I remember it's a 400 trillion, because I'm not keen into that tech stocks. But if you're asking that, I'm saying that this is really huge, and I don't think that GoTo will screw up all the performance in IDX.
Okay, I guess that's all, Pak Gemma. Thank you very much for the presentation, and It is very great presentation. I hope you all enjoy this. And thanks again, Pak Gema.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Linda. See you soon, guys, in Melbourne. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I guess we will have the next speaker. Okay, Pak Gema still sharing the screen, yeah. Can we? Okay. 1 second. Okay, we have one of the senior also speakers. This is one of the my favorite also. Mr. Bruce Fraser is the Wyckovian expert. So let me introduce Mr. Bruce Fraser. He's also one of the Ifta director, and he began teaching a graduate level at Golden Gate University in 1987. He worked closely with the late Dr. Henry Hang. We met Dr. Henry, I guess, in Tokyo back then. He developed a curriculum for many courses in GGU, Golden Gate University, and is also technical analysis strategy and business cycle analysis, and as I mentioned before, is the expert of the Wyckoff method. Mr. Fraser also the co-founder, principal, and portfolio manager at Pring Turner Capital Group with Martin Pring and Joe Turner. He has retired and now teaches the Wyckoff method, trades, and creates blogs and video at stockchart.com. Okay, I guess without further ado, is Mr. Bruce Fraser ready? Mr. Bruce, is he here? Okay.
I'm here. I'm ready. And
okay.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for that wonderful introduction. And you know, I really am here as really a representative or a liaison for the IFTA, and maybe one of these times I can actually make a presentation on the Wyckoff method to your wonderful societies. And I have to say that today was an absolutely phenomenal event. The speakers, every single one of them was just great and outstanding. And I had a wonderful time. And I know everybody else did also. Many of you are not members of an IFTA society. And I want to strongly encourage you to consider becoming a member of your local country IFTA society, because the societies that represent all of the different organizations around the world are doing these wonderful webinars, content, videos that are available to all of us. I have the great good fortune of being the webinar person on the IFTA board for the current board cycle, and I'm having a really great time attending events like today. And Southeast Asia is one of the really great hotspots of technical analysis. And so you want to please consider becoming a member of your local society. But I'm not here for that, actually. I've got a great announcement to make. And this announcement is that, oh, well, here is also, as an IFTA member, you enjoy access to all of the live webinar presentations and the videos of these presentations, and great speakers throughout the year. So you can go to ifta.org, go to the Media Center, make sure that you are registered as an IFTA member through your local society. You can do it right here. and then you have access to all the great content. But I am here today to make an announcement that I think you're going to be really interested in, and that is that our very own Constance Brown, she is on the board of IFTA. You know her probably as Connie Brown, the great technical analyst, has written a number of very important books. Aerodynamic Trading is among them. This is the first book that she's written, I believe, in the last 10 years. And she wrote this book specifically for the IFTA, the International Federation of Technical Analysts, for all of us members. And so all of the proceeds from this book are going to benefit the IFTA and the IFTA individual societies around the world. This book, I have a copy of it here in my hand. It's a remarkable book, Trading Market Dynamics Using Technical Analysis, and it's very complete, thorough, and has some just great new concepts that Connie has developed and is presenting to us. And the best way to get this book at this time is to go to Amazon.com and order it through Amazon. And so IFTA has published this book in collaboration with Connie Brown. Connie wrote this book specifically for the benefit of IFTA and the members, all of you. And so we are extremely grateful to her for this, and we are all going to benefit tremendously from having her present this new material. And so that is what I have to offer today. And so I thank you for your time, and please, again, congratulations on a phenomenal event today, and just really special. Thank you to all the great speakers that we had. And again, if you're a guest of an IFTA society watching this anywhere in the world, think of becoming a member. And with that, I'll say thank you and turn it back over to our great presenters.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. Well, I was hoping to hear you sharing about the Wyckoff. But anyway.
Well, I absolutely promise that I will come back anytime you would have me. And I would love, there's nothing I enjoy doing than getting together with other technicians and talking about the Wyckoff method. So I am yours anytime you want to invite me back. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing, Bruce. Well, everyone, as Bruce mentioned, we have an Indonesian technical association called AATI. You can contact Pak Indra or me, myself, or the other Indonesian speaker. And also we refer to Ifta as our parent global association. So globally, we're connected in the technical world. Well, anyway, Bruce also sharing is a great book from Connie Brown, right? So please check the book. I guess it's a great book. So we will have this event more, and for all the speaker, I myself would like to say thank you for the sharing. Maybe we can take picture for our documentation. So maybe if everyone can turn the video before we close this. And for the participant from all over the countries, Singapore, Philippines, Thailand, US, as Linda here, and Bruce, and Indonesia for sure. I would like to say thank you. Maybe I will give to Pak Indra to also close this. Pak Indra, is there anything you want to say before we close this? And we take a picture.
Okay, actually, I have a video for a closing statement from Willen. I think after that, that I will give my closing statement, and after that we take a picture. You want to take a picture now, or you want to take a picture?
Okay. Let's take a picture first, and then before everyone forget, a quick picture. I will screenshot. Is Linda and Bruce,
Nicholas,
Daniel, Pak Gideon.
Okay, I have a problem here. Cannot start video because host has stopped it. Can somebody grant me access?
Okay. Nicholas cannot.
Linda, Nicholas want to showing the video to open the video. May you help or?
Irfan.
Okay. Now we see your hands and face.
Okay. About Linda. Okay. Pak Gideon. There you go. Linda wants to open the camera as well, so we can take Oh, great! So you're in the California beach, is that there? Looks like. Okay, Pak Irfan juga boleh kalau mau, nggak apa-apa. As one of the participants that support the event. Anyway, I'll smile, everyone. Okay, let me take a picture. And one more, 1 second. Pak Indra juga kalau mau help me with the, okay. One more because there's a pop-up question here from Mr. Paulo. Okay, there. Smile, everyone. And there you go. Okay.
All right.
Awesome. So, I miss there. Perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So we will have the closing video from Willen. Thank you, everyone.
All right. How about this? I'll put my okay, Willen here. Just Willen.
Yes, Willen.
All right, Irfan, you can play it.
Thanks for joining us today. We had a deep dive into today's markets, and I'm sure you can make a good use from it. Also, I'd like to thank our experts from Indonesia, Dr. Jimma Joyadi and Daniel Augustus. From Malaysia, I'd like to thank Mr. Wanmo Hafizulin. From Singapore, I'd like to thank Mr. Nicholas Tan, and from the Philippines, I'd like to thank Mr. Jonathan Ravelas for their insights and bringing their knowledge to us. Now, I hope that we see each other very, very soon again, either in person in Melbourne or online with our next market outlook. And finally, become one of us. Become part of the IFTA family. Join IFTA in one of our member societies in Southeast Asia. Visit ifte.org for more information, and please don't hesitate to contact us if you need any more information about IFTA. Thank you so much, and all the best to you. Your Wieland Alt.
All right. Thank you very much, Andre. Thank you everyone for joining us today to see extraordinary presentation from our incredible speaker. Mr. Gemma Guyadi, Mr. Daniel Agustinus, Mr. Nicholas Tan, Mr. Wan Muhammad, and also Jonathan Roselas. And also thank you especially for Willan, Linda, and Bruce, Mr. Andrew Chu, chairman from all local society, local community, and all team who helped me to conduct this event. We are IFTA. IFTA is the Federation Society Association in the world who expertise on technical analysis in the financial industry. Even though we are spread around the world, we speak the same language. We speak chart language. So we have to be united because this knowledge is extraordinary knowledge. That's why it has to be standardized and then certificated. Also, please go to your local society to get more information about IFTA, or you can just go through our website, ifta.org. And lastly, this year we have a conference, offline conference. It will be conducted in Melbourne on September 7 until September 9. I wish we will meet there. And the advantage you join with us in our conference, you can sit, talk, discuss with the expertise personally. So you have a plenty time to ask as much as you can. I think that will be all. Hopefully this information will give you more knowledge, expand your knowledge, and hopefully we can do this more event. So we'll give you guidance, and then hopefully next event we're gonna have another neighbor from Thailand to join with us. Thank you very much. I think that will be all, and thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Andre.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you, Pak Indra. And see you all again in the next event with IFTA and ADI. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.